All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning, I'm Sanjay Mattu. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to reply on motion of thanks on President's address in Rajya Sabha today. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar to hold talks with the US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo in New Delhi. Additional list to draft National Register of Citizens to be published in Assam this morning. Minority Affairs Minister Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi says a record number of 2 lakh Muslims to go on Hajj this year without any subsidy. And in ICC World Cup Cricket, Australia beat England by 64 runs to book a semi-final berth. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will reply in the Rajya Sabha today to the debate on motion of thanks on the President's address. Replying to the debate in the Lok Sabha yesterday, Mr. Modi asserted that there is no place for corruption in the country and the government will continue its fight against it.
भ्रष्टाचार के खिलाफ लड़ाई हमारी जारी रही। हमें इसलिए कोसा जा रहा है कि फलाने को जेल में क्यों नहीं डाला। ये इमरजेंसी नहीं है कि सरकार किसी को जेल में डाल दे। ये लोकतंत्र है। ये काम न्यायपालिका का है। हम कानून से चलने वाले लोग हैं। जो भी करेंगे ईमानदारी से करेंगे, किसी के प्रति हीन भाव से नहीं करेंगे और देश ने हमें इतना दिया है, हमें गलत रास्ते पर जाने की जरूरत नहीं है।
Mr. Modi said after many years, the people of the country gave a strong mandate and re-elected the NDA government. He said the Lok Sabha elections have shown that the people are thinking about the betterment of the country over themselves and the spirit is commendable. The Prime Minister said after independence, the country had accepted a culture in which common people had to struggle with the system for their basic rights. Later, the House adopted the motion of thanks on the President's address. Participating in the debate on the motion of thanks in the Rajya Sabha, BJP MP Vinay Sahasrabudhe listed the government's initiatives taken in different sectors and dismissed the opposition questioning NDA schemes like Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. On the other hand, Digvijay Singh of the Congress questioned Mr. Modi's slogan, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas, alleging that the seeds of communalism are being sown in the country. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar will hold talks with US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo in New Delhi today. External Affairs Ministry spokesperson Ravish Kumar said the two leaders will exchange views on a range of bilateral and regional issues of mutual interest, including terrorism and H-1B visas. This will be the first high-level engagement with the US after the general elections in India. Talking to reporters in Gandhinagar, Dr. Jaishankar said, during the discussions, India will try to find common ground on trade issues. Asked about India's stand in the backdrop of US-Iran tensions, Mr. Jaishankar said it will be guided by national interest.
There will be many international issues of difficult nature, and US-Iran is one such issue. We have relations with US, we have relations with Iran, we have relations with other countries in the region also. What I can say is that in all these matters, we will be guided, frankly, by what is in our national interest. And that will be the yardstick of judgment.
Ahead of the meeting, Mr. Pompeo will call on Prime Minister Narendra Modi at his residence in New Delhi. The Secretary of State arrived in New Delhi last night on a 3-day visit to India. Prime Minister Modi will leave today for Japan to attend the 14th G20 summit in Osaka on the 28th and 29th of this month. The theme of the summit is Human-Centered Future Society. Food security, energy security, financial stability, terrorism-related issues, innovation and digital economy, and artificial intelligence will be discussed. Former Union Minister Suresh Prabhu is the Prime Minister's Sherpa at the summit. Yesterday, he attended the G20 Sherpas meeting to prepare for the Prime Minister's summit with G20 leaders. More than 20 countries will be participating in the G20 summit. Informal meetings of BRICS leaders and bilateral meetings with other leaders would also take place on the sidelines of the summit. The Prime Minister will share his thoughts with the people in the country and abroad in his Mann Ki Baat program on All India Radio this Sunday. It will be the first Mann Ki Baat program after Mr. Modi assumed office for the second term. Addressing the program for the first time on the 3rd of October 2014, the Prime Minister had stressed on the use of khadi products as a homage to Mahatma Gandhi. Mr. Modi impressed upon the people to use at least one khadi product.
आपके परिवार में अनेक प्रकार के वस्त्र होंगे,
अनेक प्रकार के फैब्रिक्स होंगे, क्या उसमें एक खादी का नहीं हो सकता क्या? और ये मैं इसलिए कह रहा हूं कि अगर आप खादी का वस्त्र खरीदते हैं तो एक गरीब के घर में दिवाली का दिया जलता है।
Talking exclusively to AIR News, the chairman of the Khadi and Village Industries Commission, Vinay Kumar Saxena, said that Khadi had registered a tremendous growth after the Prime Minister's appeal.
Prime Minister has appealed number of times to adopt Khadi. It has created a buzz in the country. And today, the growth of Khadi is almost 28% per annum. The average growth of Khadi from 2004 to 2014-15 was 6.68% only. Similarly, during the last 5 years, we have created more than 21 lakh jobs.
This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates, follow us on Twitter @AIR News Alerts. Union Home Minister Amit Shah will be on a 2-day visit to Jammu and Kashmir from today. He'll reach Srinagar in the afternoon. This is Mr. Shah's first visit to the state after assuming charge as Home Minister in the second successive stint of the BJP-led NDA government at the centre. Our correspondent reports that Mr. Shah is scheduled to co-chair a meeting of the unified headquarters with Governor Satyapal Malik.
After his arrival in the afternoon, Union Home Minister will chair the high-level meeting to review the arrangements, including security plan for the peaceful and smooth conduct of upcoming annual Amarnath Yatra beginning on 1st July. He would also review the developmental activities, including Prime Minister's development package under implementation in the state. Home Minister is also meeting BJP workers and Panchayat members separately in the evening today. He will also meet some delegations and also families of BJP workers who have been killed by the militants in the Kashmir region. Tariq Rathar, AIR News, Srinagar.
In Jammu and Kashmir, a gunfight raged this morning between terrorists and a joint team of security forces in the forest area of Brainpatri of Tral subdivision in Pulwama, South Kashmir. Security sources said that at least 2 to 3 terrorists are believed to be trapped in the area. Further details are awaited. The additional list to the Draft National Register of Citizens, or NRC, will be published in Assam today. The draft list will be published at 10 a.m. for public view at designated NRC Seva Kendras, Office of the Deputy Commissioners, SDOs and Circle Officers. The list will also be uploaded on the website www.nrcassam.nic.in. The NRC authority said the list will contain only the names of those persons who figured in the complete draft NRC published in 2018, but were subsequently found ineligible for inclusion. Our correspondent reports that the names of 40 lakh people did not appear in the NRC draft list published on the 30th of July.
Those persons whose draft status will change to exclusion by additional list will be highlighted as excluded in additional list. Again, those persons already included in draft NRC list published on 30th July and not getting affected by additional list will continue to be displayed as before. The NRC authority made it clear that the additional list will not contain the results of disposal of ongoing claims and objections. Presently, the claims and objection process is also being carried out by the administration. Manas Pradim Sharma, AIR News, Guwahati.
Minority Affairs Minister Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi has said that a record number of 2 lakh Indian Muslims will go to Hajj this year without any subsidy. While inaugurating a 2-day orientation-cum-training program for the Hajj 2019 deputationists in New Delhi yesterday, the minister said even after removal of Hajj subsidy, there is no unnecessary financial burden on the Hajj pilgrims. Mr. Naqvi said of the 2 lakh pilgrims, nearly 48% are women. He added that more than 600 Hajj coordinators, assistant Hajj officers, Hajj assistants, doctors and paramedics have been deployed in Saudi Arabia to assist the pilgrims. Brazil's Supreme Court has rejected a request to free imprisoned former President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva while they consider whether Justice Minister Sergio Moro, was the convicting judge, was biased. The court dismissed a petition to let Lula out of jail until then. Moro, the powerful judge behind the so-called car wash corruption probe before he was appointed to President Jair Bolsonaro's cabinet in January, has been accused of conspiring with prosecutors to keep Lula out of the 2018 presidential race, which he was a favorite to win. Today is the International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking. The day is observed every year to raise awareness about the problem that illicit drugs represent to society. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu has appealed to the people to create awareness on the dangers of substance abuse and collectively strive to end the menace. In a tweet, Mr. Naidu said the government's efforts in eradicating the menace must be supplemented by NGOs and other dedicated individuals. In Andhra Pradesh, the central government is implementing the Anantapur to Amravati Express Highway project under Connecting India to reduce the travel time between the two cities. A report from our correspondent.
For people of Anantapur district, it is a long way to reach its new capital Amravati, which is about 720 kilometers, taking at least 10 to 12 hours journey by road and by railways. Anantapur to Amravati Express Highway project reduces journey time around 4 to 5 hours by express highway to reach Amravati from Anantapur. CCV Ramachandra Rao, an official of National Highways Department at Anantapur, spoke to AIR News.
Express highway that is connecting from Anantapur to Amravati, due to which length of the road will reduce around 60 kilometers. In Anantapur district, total length is 75 kilometers. Land required is 15.3 hectares. It covers 6 mandals and 25 villages.
The new express highway from Anantapur to AP capital would help the backward Anantapur district to progress and develop further. Dr. G. Kondal Rao, AIR News, Vijayawada.
And now news from the ICC Cricket World Cup.
Reigning champions and 5-time winners Australia became the first team to seal a semi-final berth when they thumped England by 64 runs at Lord's last night. Aussie skipper Aaron Finch hit his 15th ODI ton before left-arm seamers Jason Behrendorff and Mitchell Starc shared 9 wickets to complete the win. Finch made exactly 100 as the Kangaroos posted a total of 285 for 7. England were bundled out for 221 with 32 balls to spare. Behrendorff bagged 5 wickets while Starc, who took 4, became the leading wicket taker at the tournament with 19 scalps. For England, who entered the event as the top-ranked side, this was their second straight defeat after their 20-run loss to Sri Lanka. The defeat also means England will have to win their last 2 games, including the one against India on Sunday, in order to make it to the last 4. Much will also depend on the results of Bangladesh, Sri Lanka and Pakistan. Today, New Zealand will take on Pakistan at Birmingham. Sabi Hassan Khan, AIR News.
West Indies cricket legend Brian Lara has informed his fans that he's fine and will be back in his hotel room in Mumbai today. Lara was admitted to a city hospital after complaining of chest pain following an extended workout session. And now, for a look at today's newspapers for the major stories, it's over to Abhishek Kumar.
Thank you, Sanjay. The Prime Minister's reply to the motion of thanks on the President's address in the Lok Sabha gets top billing in the papers today. The Hindu quotes Mr. Modi as saying, help fulfill the dream of a safe, modern, inclusive India. On the citizenship of fugitive diamond trader Mehul Choksi, the pioneer quotes the Prime Minister of Antigua as saying, will strip Choksi of citizenship, repatriate to India. Taking note of the workers' strike at the Hindustan Aeronautics Limited or HAL, the Hindustan Times reports HAL employees set on hunger strike to push for wage revision. Amidst the gloomy stories of water woes in the country, the Times of India reports South Delhi locality turns the table. Groundwater rises 2.75 feet. Citing a written submission by Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman in the Rajya Sabha, the business line writes, demonetization effect, currency in circulation down by 3.4 lakh crore rupees. Finally, all that glitters is gold. The Times of India observes on its front page, at 34,470 rupees, gold at record high. And with that, it's back to you, Sanjay.
Thank you, Abhishek. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to reply in motion of thanks on President's address in Rajya Sabha today. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar to hold talks with U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo in New Delhi. Additional list to draft National Register of Citizens to be published in Assam this morning. Minority Affairs Minister Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi says a record number of 2 lakh Muslims to go on Hajj this year without any subsidy. And in ICC World Cup Cricket, Australia beat England by 64 runs to book a semi-final berth. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.